What's happening, everyone? It's Kyle from Magpie 24/7, and I hope you're all good. This is my first video. I've took a bit of inspiration from man's view from a van, in the videos he's doing. But instead of doing a podcast, I thought we're, we're gonna try and even it out across the entire brand of Magpie 24/7 instead of it just funneling into one place. And give my reaction on the match against Blackburn, and the argument regarding Joelinton at the minute. First and foremost, a very ugly win against Blackburn. We had one good chance. Great ball from Miguel Almiron though. Through to Ryan Fraser, backward pass through the defender through the gap. Very hard pass to do, and Miggy made it look effortless. And then the finish obviously needed to happen. The keeper came out, made himself look as big as possible, and Fraser just slid it at the side of him. So great finish by Fraser. Another debut day goal for another Newcastle player coming through the door. Good to see. And I thought Fraser would look to our best player as well. Uh, Very energetic, very lively, looking to get into the tackle, and very keen to try and make an impression. I think he did that, and I think with more first team players round him in league games, he will be able to make that impact. However, I think he will be on the bench against Brighton because Hendrick, or the Irish Jesus as we're starting to call him up here, really did make an impression against West Ham. But yeah, really ugly win. There's not really much to go on about in terms of the game. We're shit. We really were. We're terrible. Kieran Clark played absolutely phenomenal. Really underrated he is. I've argued for a long time now how good he actually is, and people don't see him as we're is probably not the best defender on like the best day, but the most consistent, I would definitely say. The last time I think he had a bad game was when he played left back at Forest when we got beaten in the cup. That was the last time I think he played a bad game for Newcastle. Obviously, there's a little mistake here and there, but a bad game I don't think Kieran Clark's had for a long time. Um, Croft did okay at centre back as well. Considering we played three right backs in a back four, were held well defensively. Sean looked a bit lost in the midfield. He just didn't look up to speed. Dan Balazar was actually really happy with. I thought he played well. His ability to pass the ball and pick out a pass very quickly. He looks a different player from when I first seen him against Notts Forest in the cup when we got beat 3-2 in 2017 at home. He looks a lot more confident. Looks like he can pick his head up a lot quicker and pick a pass. So the lone moves at Ackland, Stanley and Morgan. We'll play Morgan next week, and Rotherham really served him well. But yeah, other than that, I don't think really much to shout about. Miggy, very energetic, and Miggy and Fraser, the quality we did have on the field, proved to be the difference. You notice how I didn't say Joelinton in a part of the quality? Time to talk about Joelinton, I think, and Paul really hit the nail on the head when it came to Joelinton. He just in every department wasn't good enough. Because to me, right, this was his big chance. And yeah, people saying, yeah, we'll give him a chance this season. We'll see what he can do. We've got Wilson, and hopefully that'll give him the kick up the arse that he needs to really kick on. And this, to me, was his big chance to prove, you know what, I'm still here. You might have signed Callum Wilson, but don't forget about me. I'm still the number nine. I'm still going to make an impact. I'm still going to prove you all wrong and prove you didn't need to sign a centre forward in the summer. But in this game, like, I can forgive lack of quality. I can forgive if you're shit. I can forgive if you miss a chance, bad form. I can forgive last season, right? But he comes into this game and he doesn't even try. He doesn't press the defence when he's on the ball. His touch every time was absolutely shocking. He lost the ball more times than anybody else on the field. He just didn't look bothered. Maximin came on for him in around 72 minutes into the game, um, and he pressed the defence and tried and showed more effort in about 40 seconds than Joelinton, who number nine, did in 72 minutes. Now, like I says, I can forgive lack of quality because we had Joselu prior, and do you know what it is? We hounded him out the door, and a lot of the fans were happy to see the back of him. If you offered me Joselu for Joelinton in a swap deal, I would take it in a heartbeat. I would snap your hand off to have to have Joselu back over him because yeah, with Joselu you get exactly what it says on the tin, shite, right? A lot of the time he held the ball wrong and he didn't get in behind, and like, there was a lot of frailties when it came to Joselu. But at least he grafted. Do you know what I mean? At least he gave everything he had, and he he wore the shirt with pride, and he was like, there was a lot of problems, but at the end of the day, he tried to make up for it and graft, and there was at least a couple of times in a season where you could say, you know what it is, Joselu played all right today. He got his cell about, he put his cell about, he worked hard, and he really grafted. That's why Rafa used to play him a lot. But Joelinton, like, I know he's only played one full game, but that to me, if he's playing like that, I hope it's his last. I know he'll play on Tuesday against Morecambe, but it's a redemption game for him if you ask me. He needs to show himself to be a good at least try, because he didn't put any effort in, and it was very reminiscent of last season where even though we played an attacking formation to win the game, 4-2-3-1 I feel, or 4-4-2 with Miggy just off of him. It was just lethargic. He wasn't making any runs. He wasn't trying to cause the defence any problems. He was just standing in front of them. Easiest 90 minutes playing in front of him. It was. He didn't even. He had no input in the goal. It was the ball went up, headed on by their defender to Miggy. Miggy caused the space. Miggy made the pass. Fraser scored the goal. And Joelinton just had no impact. I know he scored a goal that was where he was about 2 feet offside, but it's not good enough. He needs to really improve for me. Um, for me, if he goes in Tuesday, he doesn't score, but he shows effort, then at least it tells me that he's trying and he wants to make it work. But there's people saying on Twitter, there's people saying on Facebook, there's people saying on Instagram, that the fans already given up on Joelinton. But for me, right, the first person who gave up on Joelinton is Joelinton, because he played like that against Blackburn, where he didn't press the defence, he wasn't bothered, and Bruce has defended him, saying he tries all the time. Sorry, not for me. He didn't put any effort in. I think Bruce seems to forget. I know he's trying to defend his player and stuff, and if I was manager, I'd probably do the same. But Bruce needs to remember that we're used to having useless, lazy players in our team, like Simo Sissoko when he was walking around the relegation teams where we had 4 or 5 of them in our team, just walking around, head down, not arsed. We know these type of players when they come about, and yeah, it's a shame because I want Jordan to do well. It's not like I want him to fail and I want him to be sold on and stuff. I want him to prove us wrong and do well, but anyone who's still in support of him, tell us why he deserves to start. Tell us why he deserves to play. Because for me, he doesn't. He doesn't deserve to play. I wouldn't have him anywhere near the first team. I'd rather play Carroll on Tuesday. I'd rather rest Carroll on Saturday, play one up front against Brighton, and then play Carroll on the Tuesday night against Morecambe, and not play Joelinton at all. That's how much this performance against Blackburn was, because for you to play against Blackburn and not scored but put the graft in, and it showed that he cared and showed that he tried, then it would be a different story. I'd be like, you know what, he didn't score, but he's trying to make things work. He's trying to make things happen. Many people argued he was out of position last season, not getting the service. You're running out of arguments to defend him. 40 million, you shouldn't be having to argue little things like, oh, he's out of position, oh, it's this, oh, it's that. Do you know what I mean? You shouldn't have to argue that for a player his value and amount and the expectation that comes with the 40 million. Like, you can't just write off it, or you need to build them up. It's a really difficult situation for Joelinton, and I think he's running out of time before fans fully turn against him. I'll never fully turn against him, but I do seriously question the effort from Tuesday. And when he plays next Tuesday, he needs to put up or shut up, and prove that he's worthy of wearing that number 9 shirt. Because last Tuesday against Blackburn, he disgraced that shirt. But that's all I've got to say on that. We've got a podcast coming out tomorrow, I think, regarding the game against Brighton, and we'll get thoughts as a two of Joelinton and stuff, and then we'll kick on into the weekend stuff. Because what we're looking to do is we're looking to just spread it out. Some will be videos, some will be podcasts. Just mix it up and go across all the platforms and brands, and just spread it out so we interact as much as possible on all levels. But yeah, I've been Kyle, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. And I'll catch you all in a bit, and I'll see you later. Ta-da.